Hi, this is Eric Hall with the Fuze magazine, and today we're getting a chance to chat with Zach Nugent of Cats Under the Stars, which is a Jerry Garcia tribute band, and we get a chance to actually ask him some questions. Thank you for chatting with the Fuze today.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Great. And so I guess you guys just chatting with you earlier, you missed the big bullet of the snowstorm that hit the Northeast.
Yeah, we did. We got a couple inches last night, maybe 3 or 4 inches, but nothing bad. Pretty fluffy. I got it out of the way with a broom.
Now, you guys are from Connecticut, I believe. Am I correct in saying that?
No, we're actually from Vermont.
Or Vermont, I do apologize.
No problem.
Now, you guys got a big presidential race coming up over there in Vermont coming up. Do you guys have any favorites out of the contenders?
It's true. We do have a big race. Yeah, I think we're pretty much mostly Bernie people in this group. You know, he's our hometown boy, and not only that, but I mean, what he stands for, or at least what he appears to stand for, is pretty incredible at this point. So I think we're all Bernie guys and Bernie girls in the band, and we hope to see that turn out well. We did just have a Trump visit last week, which was really interesting, but I think Bernie will prevail.
That's awesome. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the band itself and the members?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the only original member. I started Cats Under the Stars in September of 2009, and it's been through a couple incarnations since then, both instrumentalists and backup vocalists. So right now we've got myself playing guitar and singing vocals. We've got Josh Dobbs on keys. We have Brian Harris on bass and Joe Chapman on drums. And from time to time, depending on the show, we've got Heidi Harris and Devin Noel on vocals, which they do a great job.
Yeah, interesting. Now, why did you initially choose the Jerry Garcia band as a tribute and not the Grateful Dead itself?
I had been in a few Grateful Dead tribute bands, and there's just so many of them floating around, and there weren't really many JGB bands at the time when I started Cats. I think we all started. You know, there's Legion of Jerry out of Connecticut. There's Garcia Project out of New York. There was Don't Let Go for a while. So there's a handful of JGB ones now, but when we started, we were sort of on the forefront, I think. I didn't really know of any existence, and I know some of those other bigger ones with us are celebrating their anniversaries of about the same time. But so it was a bass player and I from a Dead cover project that I was in, years ago, like finishing up high school, really. I'm 27 now, so when I was like 17, 18, 19, we got this Dead project going, and we played all over the place, but there's just so much competition in New England where we are. There's like 45 Dead bands in like 5 or 6 states. And so that's great, but if you're looking to be a musician for a living and pay tribute or cover someone else's music, which is already a difficult enough territory in a lot of ways, it's just tough to be in such a concentrated zone. So combine that with like Jerry Garcia band just being such feel-good music. Not that the Dead's not, but Jerry is like so much Beatles and Motown and blues and stuff like that. So it's just fun music. And when we started out, when we didn't have such a following, the way it worked out a lot, we'd be playing in bars, and people who were not Deadheads by any means, or like didn't appreciate the Dead over the years or whatever, they'd be stopping in because they heard us playing Dear Prudence or Second That Emotion or something like that after midnight. And there are all these tunes with JGB that so many more people can sing along to. Even when the Dead did a bunch of covers, like not everyone knows the lyrics to Big River or Peggy or something like that. These traditional, semi-obscure country tunes. So you're playing Beatles and Motown and like old blues tunes with a couple verses people can sing along, and it's a lot more familiar. So I think that was part of the draw to doing JGB is just like the almost the basic nature of it in a way. Even though it's just as fun, and some of the stuff is just as complicated, there's also a lot of really basic music, and it's just fun and it feels good,
Oh, exactly. That's the important part is if you guys are connecting with the music and it feels right to you, it's going to feel right to the fans as well. So.
For sure.
Now, you guys have a show coming up in Syracuse. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we'll be at the Westcott Theater on Friday, January 22nd. That's, I guess, a week and a half away or so.
Yep.
And I believe there is an opening act. I'm sorry to say I don't know the name of the opening act offhand. And doors there are usually around 8 o'clock. Tickets are maybe 10 or $12. And that's a really fun room. We've got a great sound guy that we work with. He gets it nice and boomy, nice and big because, you know, Jerry is playing all these cool theaters with a lot of natural reverb and big sound with a couple thousand, maybe up to 10,000 people in there probably for JGB shows. And, you know, for us to be playing like 1,000-person room, we sort of have to work with a little more. So it's nice. There's a great sound guy there who delivers like that 90 JGB sound, which I really love. And the room's just a cool vibe. It's a nice stage. It's a cool feel, and they like to use a lot of fog on stage, which is really important.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, do you have any songs that'll stick out that are going to be planned into the set list?
I make up the set list usually as we go. Sometimes we'll go on stage, and I won't even tell the guys what we're opening with, and I'll just start playing, which is like half the fun and half the excitement. It just keeps everyone on their toes, and like it keeps it all fresh, you know.
Impressive.
yeah, totally. It's like, and even if we do, like, sometimes we'll plan out, we'll do like a Halloween show or something that we consider, you know, something we really don't want to blow, and we'll maybe throw something around backstage before we go on, being like, let's do an after midnight Eleanor Rigby, Werewolves of London, Eleanor Rigby, you know, and make some sort of sandwich or something. But even when we do that, we get on stage and that just flops. I start calling stuff, or the keyboard player will look at me, Dobbs will say, hey, like let's sneak this in. So a lot of times the set list, even if we try it, doesn't pan out. But as far as tune,
quarterback calling the audible, huh?
Yeah, right, exactly. It ends up being audible all night anyway. So.
Speaking of football, do you have any picks for the Super Bowl?
That's so funny. No, you know, it's hilarious that you say that because, number one, I know nothing about football, sports really in general. I've always been nose down in the guitar, so like while all my friends were like geeking out about sports or like cheering for their team, I was just playing music all like through high school or whatever, whenever that people get into that. But I couldn't even tell you who's got a chance at making it to the Super Bowl this year, to be honest. But funny enough, for the past like 45 minutes, maybe like an hour ago, I was playing Madden on PlayStation with our bass player. That's what we do. A lot of our time is we play football video games on PlayStation when we're not on stage together. So
now,
for anyone who wonders what
I'm
the
curious
musicians are
is why Madden never came out with a lingerie bowl.
Right.
That's always one of the biggest draws.
Yeah, seriously.
So, switching gears, have any of you guys met anybody from the Jerry Garcia band at all?
Yeah, I played, Captain of the Stars played with Melvin Seals last summer at Jerry Jam, which is a festival in Bath, New Hampshire, and I ended up doing 4 shows with Melvin last year. And Melvin and I are talking a lot. I actually talked to him for a while earlier today, and we've got some stuff brewing. We're going to be doing like a 3-day run with Melvin coming up soon, probably beginning of March or so. But, keep checking back on our stuff, and we're going to finalize that soon. So you'll have a chance to catch us with Melvin real soon. He's the only one I've
put a link to your page in our follow-up piece as well, so that way everybody can find your Facebook page. Are you guys on Twitter as well?
Yeah, we've got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Not sure what else. We have someone who manages all of our social media, so there's all sorts of accounts and websites I've never even heard of that we're posting on, I think. So I'll get you all that information to post.
Right. Now, where do you guys normally travel and play at? And also, do you have any festivals planned that you might want to let loose for 2016?
Nice. We travel like as far as Baltimore and Buffalo now. And, we everywhere in between. We do a lot of Portland shows, a lot of upstate New York, a lot of Syracuse and Rochester. We're in Rochester the night after Syracuse this next week. And so we bounce all around, but we're, regionally a Northeast band, although we plan on branching out now more that the foundation of the band is a little sturdier. And the only festival that we've got booked so far is, once again, Jerry Jam, which is in Bath, New Hampshire. It's the absolute best festival I've ever been to. But we're pouring so much into that right now and helping them figure that out and get the lineups all secured that a lot of our booking power actually has been spent on that lately, but it's going to be well worth it, especially without Vibes happening this year. But you know, we usually find our way into like Strange Creek and Friendly Gathering and those types of festivals. So definitely look out. That stuff will be announced soon as we confirm more of them.
That's awesome. Now, kind of switching gears again, what's one of the craziest stories you guys have from one of your shows?
Oh man, there's lots of them. There's some silly stuff that happens. I mean, you've got like the standard like people jumping on stage, and I don't know. I mean, I've had a bunch of people jump on stage with us, but I don't know what they by the time they like, you know, get their footing on stage and think about doing something, that security is usually dragging them off. I don't know if any of them have bad intentions, or they just want to be seen on stage or dance with the backup singers or what. But
we've seen a ton of it around here. They just like to be seen.
They just like to be seen, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm trying to think of anything really crazy that's ever happened. I don't know. We had we weren't playing, but at the festival we were at last year, Max Creek played right after us, and we were hanging out on the side of the stage, and the power went out. The whole festival lost power right in the middle of Max Creek's set, and they just kept playing.
Oh.
It was pretty funny.
Oh, God, yeah, that's a promoter's nightmare right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully it didn't take too long to get that back up.
No, it didn't. It was maybe like 10 minutes or so at most, but Max Creek just kept playing. It was great. Like the guitars were dead silent, the amplifiers were off. All you could really hear was drums, but it was really funny.
Actually, it brings me back to a story at one point in time.
Oh, yeah?
We used to put on shows ourselves, and we actually had Green Jelly, if you remember Three Little Pigs, the rock and roll song. We had them play one of our shows, and we had to shut the sound down due to noise ordinances after a certain time. So Bill Manspeaker, the founder of Green Jelly, he wasn't having it. So he let into Three Little Pigs as going to be the last song, and he instructed the crowd to do the chorus parts, the da 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 da. And then he went ahead and stood up on a chair and spoke real loudly and sung the song while the crowd was doing the chorus parts. Da, 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 da.
Oh, amazing.
And come to find out, it was the only time he's ever done it a cappella.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's one of our cool stories. So
that's real cool.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, nothing too wild for us.
You guys just keep it pretty mellow, huh?
Yeah, we've had some fun stuff. We were playing the bitter end last year in New York City. We had like a late set. It was like a midnight to 3 a.m. set in the Village, and we're friends with some of the guys from Rat Dog and DSO. Just like in the line of work, you sort of make friends with people in all different circles, and especially your same circle. So we were playing at one point, and before we knew it, we had like all of Cats Under the Stars with the two backup singers, and Rob Baracco and Rob Eaton from Dark Star Orchestra, and Kenny Brooks from Rat Dog on stage. So there were like 10 of us in this little club from a bunch of different bands, and it was a great time. But not too crazy, but it's just sort of silly and wacky. You never know what you're going to end up with. In a city like
never
that,
know.
You never know.
Alrighty. Well, this is going to wrap it up for today. I'd like to take a chance to thank Zach Nugent from Cats Under the Stars for taking your time out of your busy schedule to speak with us.
Yeah, you got it, man.
All right, and this is Eric Hall with the Fuze magazine, and cheers and see everybody at the show.